Hey guys, it's Icarus here.
And Amelia.
And I'm here to tell you if you'd like to join our brand new adventure. Go to DevonTaylorAuthor.com to learn more.
And check out the cool items like the new bucket hat.
Yeah, and so much more. See you guys there.
Welcome to a brand new experience with innovative voices from all over the world. I would like to invite you all to something that is magical, something that is powerful, and something that is from my heart. This is the Devon Taylor Podcast. Hello all, and welcome to another episode of the Devon Taylor Podcast, where we have guests from all around the world tell their unique and powerful stories to allow their voice to be heard, and also for you to be inspired. Today, I'm happy and excited to welcome our next guest. She is a leadership and education entrepreneur. She is here to share her knowledge about how to take control of your health, your wealth, and your life, while also building so much trust within your own body. So today, I am happy to welcome Grace Leoncavallo. Did I say that correct?
Yeah, I mean, like, everybody has different ways that they say it, but my last name is Leoncavallo in Italian. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to connect with you. I love that this is like our first time connecting because we get to just like dive so deep into things. That's the type of person that I am. So I'm super excited to be here, and thank you for reaching out to me and allowing me to have a voice in your space as well.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you being here. And honestly, we have a connection. We're both within the water community where, we sell or distribute Kangen water. But I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about you first and share your journey, where you're at with your entrepreneurship, and just, a little background so everyone can get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, so I started my entrepreneurship journey and started connecting with people inside of Kangen water and started sharing the water when I was 17 back in 2020. So at the time I couldn't have my business in my name because I was a minor. So I had it in my mom's. And then when I turned 18, I was able to have that as my own. And that was like a huge thing to have like my name on a business. But yeah, both of my parents were entrepreneurs. So it was kind of just something that I knew that I was going to endeavor on, whatever that looked like. But being able to find the water and find the community that you and I are both a part of, it's been honestly better than I ever could have imagined, because I did have experiences like with my father where he just struggled so much with entrepreneurship and still to this day does. And I just never wanted to be like a struggling entrepreneur where I couldn't find my footing ever. And the moment that I did, it would just fall right from underneath me, because that's what I saw with my father. So there was resistance to entrepreneurship, but knowing that I had an entire community backing me and were like, I'm here for you, I got the resources, it really was the biggest reason why I took the leap in investing in my own machine. I shared about this actually on my page yesterday, is that the biggest reason why I invested in the water was actually just to join the community. And I never knew that the water would affect me and kind of lead me on a path I never thought imaginable.
Wow. And joining the community at a young age, and you said your mom had to sign for you?
Yeah.
Wow. What was your thought process going then? Like, did your mom or your parents feel like super supportive, or they like questioning, like, why is she doing this?
Yeah. So like I said, my parents were entrepreneurs. They experienced so many different network marketing companies and different MLMs, and they had like an understanding of it, but they had never experienced like a lot of success in those areas. So I know that there was probably some reservations, but at the same time, my parents were always the people to like, you go for it. And if you fall, but you're going to get back up. I don't have a whole lot of support from my dad. It's kind of just like, it's support, but it's not very consistent. And so it's not that he doesn't like think negatively of the water or what I'm doing. There just isn't like active support in it. I know that he's doing his own things, and that's a whole story for a different day. But my mom is literally like the biggest support I've ever had in my life. And she was the one that helped made me make it all happen. She helped me pay for my machine. She helped me get like everything. So I'm so grateful for that. And I used to have a lot of shame around having my mom help purchase my machine for me, because I saw all these people doing all these things to get the money to be able to pay for it. And like being able to have somebody invest in me, I almost felt this level of shame around it. Like, I didn't do this on my own, so it's not my own business. But how many businesses start with investors? And so I had to remind myself that my mom is just my biggest investor. And I get to like honor that and share that with people, because we don't have to do everything alone. And sometimes I think, especially in business, when we don't do things alone, we tend to almost devalue and discredit the work that we put in and what we do. So yeah, my parents were very supportive.
That's really good. Yeah. And even to kind of talk about the point that you just made right now with just being a part of the water program, what was your like aha moment where you were like, I need to have this water?
That's a really, really good question. I don't know why, like, no one's really ever asked me that before, but my aha moment where I was like, this is it, is so I had originally started in 2019. I started diving really deep into womb healing and like healing my uterus and healing my menstrual cycle and starting to just really dive into that. And I got certified to teach about it back in the end of 2019 when I was like 16 years old. And then going into 2020, I found the community at the end of 2019, right after I got my certification. And it really kind of was like my understanding of my own body that led me back to the water. Because when I started searching up the goddess and the womb and like all these different things, it always came back to the water element. And I was so intrigued, like, why is it water? And then I found the WakeWaterCo community. And honestly, my aha moment really was like seeing our mission, like seeing how everybody came together. And at the time, when the coronavirus had just started, I had just barely found the community, and they had already set up a retreat in Corona, California before the coronavirus was even a thing. So it was like we already were in alignment with the things that were going on in our world. And I was just like, there's something so much deeper and so much bigger than me in this. And I didn't even know like Enagic's mission. I had no idea, like Enagic, the company that creates this water, I had no idea the mission that was even bigger than the Wake. Like the Wake is just a fractal off of the mission of Mr. Oshiro and Enagic as a whole. And so I just knew it. I just knew in my heart and my soul. And I was like, I need to be a part of this. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how long it's going to take me. And I think it took me like 10 months after that to save up for the down payment, which was like $1,200. And it was so much. And me and my mom had to put bills aside that month, but I was like, I need to do this. Like, I have to be a part of this. I have to. And I didn't even really I started studying water, and it was more just like my study of water and understanding of water that I was like, okay, I don't know what this water is, but I need it in my life and I need it in my body to understand deeper what this mission is in like a whole. So it was definitely like seeing the community, seeing the mission. I was like, I've got to be a part of that.
And I love that you keep bringing up the community. Like, why do you feel, because I feel like this could be really important for anyone listening, why do you feel community is so important, and why it's something that really, well, almost was like the factor as far as why you were like, I'm all in?
It's actually been crazy because I've been struggling with the community lately, which I want to add this because it's so valid and so normal. We have problems with our families. Like we have struggles with our families. When you join a community, there's going to be a part of you and a level on your life where there's going to be something that happens in the community or something that you collaborate with in the community that just doesn't feel good to you. And you might go on this like crisis of like, should I even be a part of this community anymore? And it's an important thing to do. Like, make sure you're asking those questions. Even though the life that you've built is luxurious and it's amazing, it doesn't always mean that it's for you. And so understanding that those questions are what get us there. But honestly, I didn't have a community pretty much my entire life. I grew up in Utah, so that's where I'm located. I grew up in Utah, and it's very, for those of you that don't know, it's very Mormon dominated. It's very dominated by the Mormon religion. And so I grew up with my first experiences in community being very judgmental, being very cliquey, being very, like, I was even told one time that I wasn't supposed to hang out with anyone outside of my religion.
Oh, wow.
And so that's a very big common thing that happens here in Utah. And I think that a lot of people don't understand that the community here is very like, you don't talk about the bad stuff. You don't talk about what's not working for you. You don't talk about what goes on behind closed doors. It is just white picket fence. It is just rainbows and sunshine. And you're not allowed to talk about the darkness. And when I saw the community, when I saw the wake, they were talking about the darkness. They were talking about what didn't work for them. They were talking about the experiences that they had that they may have had shame around. And in my previous experience of community, that just wasn't ever what I had. I never could go to my friends and feel like I wasn't going to be judged for expressing any of my sexual interests or wanting to get a tattoo or wanting to get piercings. Like, we weren't allowed to talk about that, or wanting to drink. Like, you weren't allowed to talk about that, or it's just like you were the problem. Like, you were not living in ordinance with God. And so of course there's a lot there, but I feel like it was just so much of being able to see everybody's humanness like right away. When I saw the wake, I was like, this is human. Like, this is what human community actually looks like. And to see Jillian, the founder of the wake community, to see Jillian's expression of the water and to see her expression of how she was building her community, I was like, I need to be a part of this. I don't know why. It felt like home for the first time in, I think, since I was a child. Like, I had never felt that feeling of home so much until I saw the wake community. And that was me watching it from afar, let alone being a part of it, and the level of home I've experienced in that too. And yeah, it definitely was like just seeing how human everyone was and seeing how much collaboration went on with inside the wake.
No, that makes 100% sense. And honestly, one of the reasons why we joined too, Kira is the reason why me and Giancarlo joined, and just her energy and just, making us feel almost like welcomed every time we spoke to her. And there was like no pressure, like it was all up to us.
Yeah.
Is something that I really appreciated.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask, because I looked at your Instagram and was just kind of looking at your stories before we met. And you spoke a little bit about taking breaks. I wanted to ask, the main question is, how has your life changed since you started your business?
Whew, that's a big answer to that question.
Yeah.
Everything has changed, honestly. I am not the same person I was. And of course, I mean, I was 17. I'm about 21 now, so I'm still not old or anything. But I don't know. It was like this ability to make the choice, make the decision in myself, completely change the trajectory of my entire life. Like, it wasn't even just about the water coming into my life or the community. It was that I physically made a choice in myself in the direction in which I was taking my life. And I had never done that before. I was kind of just like floating around and not really knowing where I belonged, where I fit in, what I was supposed to be doing with my life every day. And there's still moments where I feel that. Like, there's still, of course, it's so human. It's just the ability to make a choice and a definitive decision in your life of like, okay, this is where I'm going. And it may lead me on a completely different path, but this is the step I'm going to take, was so huge for me. And everything has changed in my life since investing in the water and starting my business. I am so much more confident. I'm able to like even have these spaces like this where I just feel like I don't feel any fear. And I used to just like, I remember when I got on the first ever wake up call, we used to have wake up calls inside the wake in like 2020, 2021. We don't do those anymore, but they were daily calls every single day. And the first time I ever talked on a call, I literally cried because I was so nervous and I was shaking. And there was only like 5 other people on the call. And so to be able to just like express myself so freely and just feel so comfortable in like behind a camera and in front of a camera and just to speak myself and to speak my life is just like, it's been the biggest change that I think has been within me. Is it's not even just like the physical or emotional or mental things I've been able to experience through healing with the water. It's been like I am constantly remaining uncomfortable. I'm keeping myself uncomfortable because I'm staying close to the fire. I'm staying close to people who want more, who are doing more, who are actively choosing more for themselves, and are also simultaneously understanding their humanness and everything. And being able to step into hydrated entrepreneurship where you are taking, this is something that Jilly always says. She says in hydrated entrepreneurship, we take our bodies with us. And that is something that like hit me so hard because I was like, that's what my father never did. That's what my mother never did. Is in their entrepreneurship journeys, they didn't take their bodies with them. That's what we tend to do in our lives is we kind of just keep our bodies on the background and we're on autopilot. And I feel like that it made me have better relationships because I was more confident in my ability to communicate. I was more confident in my ability to take action in areas I didn't feel comfortable with because I used to struggle with so much anxiety. I still do, but not nearly as bad as I used to. I probably had about like 8 to 10 panic attacks a day. I was just panicking all the time. And so being able to like hydrate my mind, which is a huge part of it, is hydrating your mind and your body starts to come back to equilibrium and starts to not be constantly in fight or flight. And that has been, I think, the biggest reason why I've gained so much confidence is because I'm no longer like sitting in that anxiety and fear and overthinking every single breath that I take as I move through building a business. You know, it's scary, especially as someone like I've never had a job. Like this is my first ever job experience is being in entrepreneurship and diving like head first into these waters. So it's been scary, but it's also been exactly what needed for me to become the woman that I'm becoming and that I am.
I love that. And I can even, yeah, you're so well spoken and you have such a like a teacher energy. Like you are just so good at telling people like this is what's happening and this is why. And so that's
Thank
really awesome that yeah, that you found your way and you're not holding yourself back at all.
yeah.
I kind of wanted to go back to what you were saying with, staying close to the fire, just for anyone that may not understand what that means. Like, how can you break that term down for anyone that may be listening to this podcast and heard it and was like, oh, wow, that sounds like something that I might want to pay attention to?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for me, I feel like everybody kind of like defines staying close to the fire differently. But I feel like for me, it really is like I had kind of mentioned when I said that was staying close to people that are actively doing more, connecting with people that have resources, connecting with people that have like workshops or calls every day that are like mindset calls or just being able to equip yourself with the tools to move forward in life. And so for me, staying close to the fire was staying close to the community because all of my resources were there. That's not the case for everybody. So that's why I do say, like, go out and find those people. And even us, like me and Devon, we are those type of people. Like, we have those resources. We have solutions that are going to be able to start getting you on the path to stay. Honestly, I feel like staying close to the fire is staying close to any type of motivation, any
Yeah.
type of inspiration. Stay close to the people that are making moves and that also have resources to help you make moves yourself. And even on the days when you're not feeling like moving, just being on a call with somebody or being on a call with a community or just looking up a motivational video can just help you stay on the mindset of the right track even on days when you're resting and you're not actually doing anything, because it's not about like actively needing to do something all the time. It's just staying close to the fire, just exactly like how our ancestors did. Staying close to the fire is being able to surround yourself with community so that you equipped yourself with not even the tools and resources but the people that are going to help you move more independently throughout life.
Mm, I love that. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Um, how has your life changed since you've started drinking the water? Like, have you seen any changes within yourself? I noticed on Instagram you spoke a little bit about addiction. You spoke a little bit about multiple identity crisis, moving homes. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so ugh, I feel like once you finally get hydrated, it's almost like your entire mindset of reality kind of just shifts. It's like you don't see things how you used to see things. You don't process them how you used to process them. And I mean, I'm like 4 years on the water now, so I've have quite time to experience the effects, and I feel like the blessings continue to come through the water. And I know that there's a lot of like woo woo aspects to understanding water just in general, like just the concept of water, what it means to the world. But when it comes to like my body and like my mind, before the water, I had experienced so much anxiety, like I had previously mentioned. And of course, since I was experiencing so much anxiety, I had such bad indigestion because our anxiety and our emotions lie within our gut. And if we don't move through them in a way that's beneficial for us, they just sit there, and they do cause a lot of autoimmune disorders and indigestion and like not being able to make regular bowel movements and all of those different things. And so I had kind of struggled with indigestion my whole life because I have struggled with anxiety my whole life. And with that indigestion came a lot of brain fog and fatigue, like so much of it, and just nausea and just not being able to. It was kind of just like a cloud that was over my eyes constantly. Like I just was living, I was just surviving. I wasn't thriving. I wasn't doing anything of purpose, of value for myself every day. And I wasn't fueling my body with anything that it could heal with. So when I had started the water, literally probably within a week, like of course the first days you kind of detox things. So you may not feel as good. You may feel a little bit sick to your stomach or going to the bathroom more regularly or sweating more. That's just like the process of detoxing things out of your body. But after like a week, I had almost no brain fog and fatigue for the first time in I don't know how long. Like there was days my fatigue was so bad I couldn't even sit up in bed right because the fatigue would just make me so dizzy. And so to be able to kind of like feel like myself again and to feel like I didn't have that glaze over my eyes was honestly like revolutionary for me because it shifted so much for me. And then I also noticed within a couple weeks, I noticed that I wasn't having as many panic attacks, and I was handling like hard triggering situations that I would perceive as triggering with a lot more ease and grace than I had ever in my entire life. And that was like, I think like the biggest, like the number one things that I had noticed. And another thing for those of you that do have periods out there and have a menstrual cycle, I had struggled so bad with menstrual pains and like PMS symptoms, and it was so overwhelming to me. There was even days I ended up in the ER because it was just so bad. And my first period that I had after it, my period didn't come for like over a month. Like I was almost over a month late for it, and I had no idea why, and it was scaring me. And then I had my first period after drinking the water, and it was completely painless. I didn't have like any pain at all, and I had never experienced a period like that. Never experienced where I could be on my menstrual cycle and not just be in bed all day. And that was also revolutionary for me because we go through that once a month. So it's like I would love to be able to have experiences where it's painless for me and where I'm feeling connected to myself. And as I had expressed earlier, I found the water because I started doing work with my womb.
Today's episode comes to you thanks to our sponsor, Kangen Water. Electrolyte-reduced water is the power of true hydration, manifested in the most advanced Japanese technology that has been in the market for more than 50 years. To drink the best water, shower with a hot spring quality water, and start a new business with the most amazing and profitable compensation plan in the world, visit the livingwatercouple.com to learn more or get started today.
Hey guys, I know it's just me. If you're watching this episode, unfortunately, the last part of the episode with Grace cut out. We literally had some just computer glitches happen, and unfortunately, I lost her. She was dropping some great gems, so I did want to include the first portion of her interview, but we were unable to meet in time before her episode aired. So I just kind of wanted to get back on here and talk about the water like we were when we were on with Grace. So I definitely hold on one second, guys. Uh, we got we got a little fellow here. So, I know his eyes hurt a little bit. So I definitely want to get it on here and do. You can't be up here biting me. Look at him, oh, little cutie pie, my little Maine Coon. All right, so we are going to go to Instagram first. so we can find Grace's page. So if you want to follow Grace, it is flowing.within.grace in order to follow Grace. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Living Water, WaterCouple.com. This is where you guys can check out all the information about Kangen water. Grace was speaking to it specifically, but like I said, unfortunately, we could not get the rest of her testimony and her experience with water due to technical difficulties. And hopefully we can get her back on the show. But just to keep things going in flow, I wanted to show you guys a few things when you guys check out the livingwatercouple.com. So the first thing you guys are going to notice is that you can see right here, the first thing that pops up is something free. Yes, you can get a free e-water book by just typing in your name, your email address, and your mobile number. Once you type those in, you can send the ebook directly to your text SMS and get a free ebook. This has so much information if you're looking to change your water and upgrade your life in any way. So I highly recommend, if you guys have heard any of the testimonies that have been on this podcast or me speaking about the water on any other podcast, this is a great option for you guys just to get an idea of what the water is about. All right. So we're going to go past this because I do have my free ebook. Okay. And as you can see on the cover page at the very top, there's so many different tabs. You learn about the water usage, Kangen water, clean water, like all the different settings that come with the machine. The K8 is the one that I'm going to specifically suggest, but you can learn about just the different waters that come with the K8. There are videos that you can watch. You can buy the Kangen K8 or any of the water adapters that you're trying to use to upgrade your life, like the Anespa DX, which is the shower unit. I have one of those. That's what me, my kids, my partner, that's what we shower in. But also, there are pages up here that discuss how you can make contact with us. If you have any more questions, my direct number is there. Crazy, right? You have direct access to me, but you do. And then the business opportunities that come with the purchase of a Kangen K8. So I kind of just wanted to show you guys the livingwatercouple.com in case you guys have not had an opportunity to check it out whatsoever. Like I said, Grace was speaking to why the water has changed so much about her and how it's changed her life. Her menstrual cycle even changed, you guys. It went from worse to not feeling it at all. And I think that is remarkable for women to hear. And I wish we would have gotten it, but technology. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you that this website is so well informed. Right now, Kitty's attacking my foot. But this website is basically here to give you guys just like, I don't know, a resource. You can find out the dangers of tap water. Like, it's pretty bad, guys. It can tell you all about the antioxidant rich reasons why Kangen water is the water you should be drinking. I wish this is what my grandparents are drinking right now. Do you know how many years this could save on your grandparents' life if they were drinking the best water in the world? Like, come on now. So, like I said, if you guys are interested in anything of what you got to listen to as far as what Grace was saying, her background, why she chose at such a young age, the young age of 17, to decide to inherit a business, become a business owner, and upgrade her life. Like, come on, guys. I'll be real. Was I doing that at 17? Hell to the no. But what kind of message is that sending to us, you guys, if a 17-year-old is saying, I am ready to upgrade my life? Why aren't we? Why aren't we right there hand in hand with with Grace, saying we want to upgrade our life? So you have a perfect opportunity to do so. You heard Grace's testimony. You hear my testimony when I have an opportunity to speak about it. And I'm here to tell you right now, there is so much, not only money to be made with becoming a Kangen or an Enagic distributor, but there's just so much benefit that comes to you drinking this water and it becoming something a part of your life. So I'm just hopeful that you guys will really see what I'm trying to explain, why I decided to have Grace on. I'm hoping to have more water representatives on who can speak to the water, how it's changed their life, and what advice they can bring to anyone that's on the fence. But yep, that's all I really wanted to tell you guys. I hope you guys get an opportunity to listen to all the episodes coming out. We've got some great guests coming forward with some truly remarkable stories. I have someone from the UK who is the longest survivor of cancer, getting to tell his story on our platform. We have amazing guests like someone who speaks to her experience helping her daughter after a traumatic brain injury, but also like finding herself and who she is and starting her own podcast. We have someone that's coming on that's going to tell you guys the keys to creating a 10K baseline. And if you don't know what a 10K baseline is, that's the episode for you. So I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to have this platform, to have the guests that I've had. I'm so grateful for anyone that is willing to come on and share their experience with me on the show. And I'm hopeful that in the future, I can continue to have more guests that can help inspire anyone that has taken the time to listen to the podcast. So I'm sending you guys so much love. I'm sending you guys so much power. If you have an idea and you've waited to act on it, now is your time to do it. Don't wait anymore. Thank you so much, and sending you guys love. Bye for now.
This is Nimron speaking to you, and I command you to go to DevonTaylorAuthor.com right now. You must check the specials. Listen to me. You must check the specials now.